Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. We're about 10 minutes away from the afternoon on Saturday. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to get up in here. I guess I can shoot out while we're waiting, I can shoot out a community link. Hopefully it'll help everybody get it faster. So I will go get the link real quick. Grab that and then put it in that. There we go. Hopefully everybody gets it. Get a chance to get up in here. What's up, Aaron? What's going on, man? How you doing? Give everybody a few minutes to get up in here. What's up, Steven? What's going on? Yes, it is. It is a beautiful day here in South Carolina. That's why I moved here. I'm originally from Seattle, where it was cloudy and rainy, rainy, and cold almost every day. All right. And that really starts to get depressing. And I knew I had to leave because the sun recharges me. That's what it does. What's up, Jewel? What's up, NC Biggs? Now, let me introduce myself first. My name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in finance and everything that goes down in value and cannot figure out why they're living paycheck to paycheck, right? What I do, I used to live there for the first 40 years of my life, woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, take the math that you learned in elementary school, apply it to your finances, and you'll win with money. That's exactly what I did. Now, I've never been more free in my entire 50 years of life. This last 10 years of my life have been absolutely amazing. Absolutely. So what I do is I expose what I call the glitches in the debt matrix. And the glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but yet people keep doing them. But the best way to expose the glitch to what I call people that walk around in the debt matrix are unconscious slaves. Unconscious slaves are slaves that don't believe in mathematics. That's what makes them unconscious, right? They don't believe in mathematics. So if you add up all your savings and add up all your debt, savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life, including your mortgages, student loans, tickets, whatever, all the debt that falls off in 7 years, et cetera, add it all up. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Now, this is the glitch in the debt matrix. When you see that large negative number, are you going to believe it or not? That's the glitch. So if you look at that large negative number, you don't even have to add it up. All you got to do is make it even easier. Log into your Credit Karma and look at the top and see that large negative number. That is how much money you have in your life. Now, now you choose to believe the mathematics or you don't. If you see that large negative number and you don't believe you will pay it off or that's not real or whatever, right? You are what's called an unconscious slave because you don't trust mathematics. Mathematics is not even a belief. It's a scientific fact. That means it's never, ever wrong, ever. Okay. If you choose to believe it, you wake up, you do what it takes to pay off that debt. You understand math. You've been breaking the laws of mathematics all your life. Get above zero. Now you're free. You don't have to be rich to be financially free. All you got to do is get to zero. This is what I do to help people get there. Okay. All right. So today I'm talking about something came to me today, and usually these thoughts that come to me, I usually only share these in the members only areas because those are the people that really will understand. But I believe people not members will be able to understand this as well. All right. So, excuse me. I am what's called an alpha male. All right. And what alpha male means to me, a man that is confident in himself. Okay. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter if a girl thinks I'm ugly or some other person, another dude thinks I'm out of shape. I could have a better this or whatever. All that stuff doesn't matter because it's just their opinions. Okay. It doesn't matter. And I've been like this all my life. All right. Without really even knowing it. Okay. Now that It has been taken up another level. Now I'm what is called a debt-free alpha male. Okay. And you're probably thinking, well, what's the difference? Number one, debt alpha males whom are in debt, who are unconscious slaves, don't know debt-free alpha males exist. All right. And you're probably thinking, well, what's the difference? So say like it's more of a it's more about something that you can't see. You can't use any of your human senses to detect it. It's an energy thing. Okay. I do not explain that part, right? But say like you walk into say like you're at some event where a bunch of women and men are there, and you walk in the room, women will know that you're different. It won't matter what you're wearing. It won't matter what kind of car you drive up in. Uh, it won't matter if you got Gucci on, and that won't matter. But they will look at you and know that something different about you. Okay, they will know. Uh, a woman will know that sex doesn't control you. They will know that without even saying a word. They'll know it. I promise you. And what separates now this is not isolated just for men. A woman can be an alpha man, alpha woman too. A debt-free alpha woman is different. And when you come into a space, they will be able to see you because you got to remember, like as a debt-free alpha male, you understand like most alpha males are making payments on all their stuff. All the stuff they think they need to impress the type of woman they want, that like they think they need to be looked in a certain way, driving a certain car, living in a certain area. Yes, you're going to get exactly what they're going to get exactly what they're looking for. You know why? Because there are women that fall for that stuff that's not even theirs. If they're making payments on this stuff, it's not even theirs. So the type of women they're attracting to themselves are also believers in stuff that they see too that's not theirs. It doesn't make any sense. But a debt-free alpha woman, she will know that she will know that a man that talks like that or shows this kind of stuff, if he's making payments, it's not even his, but he doesn't know it. They don't know that. Those that are making payments, they don't really understand. That's the reason why they're making payments, because they didn't have the money to buy it. That's why they're making payments. See what I'm saying? But they don't know that. So if you're in a crowd, I promise you, you will stand out, and that debt-free alpha woman will be able to see you too. I promise you. Jules, right. It's a whole different frequency. It's a frequency. It's the best way I can explain it to you. It's like, and I only can speak for me, right? Once you're debt free alpha male, it's the energy that you give off is different. It's like, okay, let me give you a better example. Everybody that has had sex, throughout their lives, right? There's certain ones that you just remember, maybe because the sex was really good or something, right? But people don't really understand why they remember that, because if you get a mental and a physical connection together while having sex, that's what makes it stand out. But you don't really know that if you don't really understand that, right? Because there's some you have people you have sex with, you be like, oh yeah, I forgot I had sex with that person. You know why? Because it was just a physical thing. You did it, boom, gone. But when you have that physical and mental together, so anyway, when you're out and you say like you're in a crowd or event or whatever, it starts mentally first. I promise you. Before for a debt-free alpha male like myself, before the mental starts first. And I promise you, hey, check this out, guys. Listen. It's in a woman's eyes. I don't know how to explain. I can't say, hey, she's gonna look this way or her eye is gonna twitch, or no, is she gonna look at you for 5.6. No, it's none of that. It's just a specific look. And then when it's there, you know it's there. It's an energy thing. It's a frequency thing. As a debt-free alpha male, you'll be able to, I promise you'll stand out from other alpha males that are in debt. I know it doesn't seem like there's a connection there, but I promise you there is. This is the difference, so you can clearly understand this. All right. I am free. I am not a slave. I'm not a slave. Alpha males whom are in debt, they're alpha males whom are in debt. They're slaves. They're still slaves. When you experience this type of freedom, it's different. Your whole world changes. It changes, and everybody sees it. They feel it. This is not an ego thing. I'm not saying, hey, I'm the almighty. No, I'm just telling you something that's true. Sometimes women will look at me, right? It's something because I pay attention to it all. I know where I'm at. I know why, whatever, right? Sometimes you'll see a look on their faces like I'm looking at him. And I don't know why I'm looking at him, or maybe they are attracted to me. Who knows? But I'm just saying this particular look. They can't really explain it, but I know it's real. I know exactly why it's happening. Like I said, this is not a gender thing, too. A woman can do the exact same thing. Same thing. I mean, I could only imagine the experience as a woman being a debt-free alpha woman that knows this. Knowing, like, for example, knowing the majority of men are ruled by sex, knowing it for a fact. How most men don't even know that's their weakness. Don't even know it. Don't even know it. As a debt-free alpha male, that doesn't rule me. I promise you, women can see that. They can see that. They can feel that. I remember I was doing that before I knew what it was. How so? Because I'm trying to think about all the things as a debt-free alpha male that I don't even pay attention to anymore. I just don't. Sometimes I'll see alpha males because as an alpha male, you can see other alpha males. Okay, that's another thing I can't really explain, but you can see them, and it's not by what they're wearing, because you got to remember there's alpha males that know they are, and maybe they are extravagant. It doesn't. But if they're in debt, they don't really understand that they're doing it wrong. Like eh, alpha males that are in debt, they have no idea they're missing a key piece. They're in debt. They can do the exact same thing, but without being in debt. But they don't know that. They don't really understand that. It just takes you up a whole nother level. But we can see other alpha males. I just want to go up to some of these alpha males and say, hey man, you're missing a piece. I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see how you're doing it, but you're missing a piece. I promise you, you're missing a piece. Avery says, I'm a female and I want to get out of debt. I need to know to budget and stick to it. Honestly, Averill, you need a plan. That word budget means many different things to many different people. That's just that's just a word. That's just a word the people in the debt matrix say. Oh, I need a budget. What's that mean to I bet you if you ask 10 different people what budget means to them, they'll have all 10 will have a different answer. You need a solid plan. And this is what I do, Averill. I give you a solid plan. All you got to do is follow it. Is it going to be easy? Nope, it's not going to be easy. Has nothing to do with budgeting, saving. Hey, I got to put 10% away. Because most people don't understand. Listen, if you're in debt, You have no money to you don't have 10% of anything to save. Like they always say, you always hear the thing says, hey, save 15% of your income. If you're in the negative, you're not saving 15% of anything. That's impossible. It's a plan, it's a mindset. This is what I do for people. I change their mindset. As a this I mean this message really goes out to the alpha males, really. You're missing something. Some of these guys, though, don't get me wrong. Some of these guys, I'll go through some channels and you'll see them create channels. And some of them know because when you see certain alpha males on videos, you think in order to get women, you got to be like them. You got to do what they're doing. I get now, don't get me wrong. I understand it's business. All right. You got to be like them. Or you got to do the things they do. You got to wear what they no, the only person you have to be like is you. I'm only like myself. I don't need to be like anybody else when I'm me. Why would I want to be like somebody else if I'm me? That doesn't make any sense. When I walk in a room, I'm me. I wear what I want to wear. I don't care what other people think I should wear. Who cares what they think? This is what life is like as a debt-free alpha male. I don't care what anybody drives. I don't care where they live. I don't care what kind of clothes they have. I don't care how many vacations they go on. I don't care how many boats they have or whatever. I don't care. I don't even see it. I don't see people's stuff. So if you got an alpha male coming up showing off all this stuff, hey man, you got the title to all that stuff. You own this building? No. Hey man, then why are you? I have no. Oh, I know why you're doing it for other slaves to trick them. And then all of a sudden, other alpha males, hey, those dudes are doing it. Look at all the women in the. No, that's an illusion. That's an illusion. What's up, Holly? Once you come over here, there is no going back ever. When I hear people say, like, every now and then I hear somebody say, oh man, I used to be debt free and then I got back into debt. No, then you were never debt free. Because once you become debt free, there is no going back under any circumstances. Oh man, yeah, I used to be debt. No, there is no used to be. You stay debt free, period. What else is my life like now as a debt free alpha male? Sometimes I gotta really think about it because I'm so used to it now. When it comes to the opposite sex. What I do, I'm with a woman now, okay, and I'm happily with the woman that I'm with, but I still pay attention to women's energy, okay? Because sometimes, and everybody has experienced this, right? You'll come across somebody in the opposite sex, and then you'll experience some kind of attraction. Now, I'm not saying attraction because ooh, shit, that person looks good. No, it's something there that draws you to them, but you don't know why. Okay, I pay attention to that because I don't really know the reason why it is, and so I never assume what it is. I don't assume just because I feel some energy from a woman that is sexual. No, I don't think about it like that. I just go, I just acknowledge it. Okay, I don't pretend that it didn't happen. I don't pretend like, oh, that was just made up. No, it was real. Else it wouldn't have happened. Okay, because that doesn't happen with everybody. If that happened, if that type of energy attraction happened, that would happen with everybody you walk by. That would drive you nuts, right? But every now and then it will happen with a total no person. You don't even know this person. But I just don't assume that it's something due to sexual. I just don't assume that. Because I remember one time, let me give you an example. I remember when I was first getting out of debt, and no, not when I was first. I was out of debt, and I just quit my job. Right. I took, I went to Hawaii for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I've never taken a long. I've never in my life, out of my whole entire working life, taken 2 weeks straight vacation. Never. I've never done that. Right. So at first I was going to go a week, but I said, no, I don't have a job. I don't have work. I could stay 2 weeks. I could stay a month if I want to. Right. So I decided to stay 2 weeks. Right. I remember being in Hawaii and I was laying on the beach. Right. By myself. Just, I didn't do anything with anyone. I was totally, it was complete solitude, not lonely, solitude. Right. And I remember I was laying on the beach, and this one woman, white woman, pale, not really even my type, right? And she had this red hair. And I remember she was walking by, and I remember saying to myself, wow, you got to have some confidence to do what she was doing with her hair and stuff, like, but I didn't really think of a big deal of it, right? So she went on walking by. I was like, okay, whatever, right? And I remember going out into the water, just, it's so crystal clear blue. It looks like a damn swimming pool. If you ain't never been to Hawaii, man, it's amazing, right? Anyway, I went out in the water. I'm just chilling out there by myself. I had to get away from all the people, because all the little kids and everybody's up front at the beginning of when you first walk into the water. But the further you get out, there's less people, right? So I'm out there by myself. And as I'm out there, and lo and behold, guess who else was out there? The white woman with the red hair. She was just out there. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, we came walking up to each other and just started talking. It was just the craziest thing. I'm still friends with her till this day. I mean, I don't talk to her and everything, but we communicate on IG. And it wasn't anything sexual. It wasn't anything. I was trying to get with her or anything. It wasn't any of that. But and when I was talking to her out there, I said, I saw you walk by earlier on the beach, and I looked at you and I was like, hey, look at her, look at her red hair, whatever, right? And lo and behold, we're out there talking. It's crazy. That's what I'm talking about. I pay attention to all that, like when she was walking by, not even my type. I remember asking myself, why am I even looking at her? Because she's not even my type, because it had nothing to do with that. Lord says, funny how one person was able to come up with a system where he could convince people they could save money with no money. Exactly. And I respect that system, Lord. Somebody designed that. Somebody designed this system, this economy. Somebody designed it. It's this, and you got to remember, this design's worldwide. You know why it's worldwide? It's mathematics, period. It doesn't matter if you went to another country, however their system, I guarantee you, it runs on math. It has to. There is no other choice when it involves money. Somebody designed it. Hey, you need to save this much of your money. They don't even know they're in debt. Slaves have no idea. It's impossible to save money if you're under zero. That's impossible because you have no money. Ever said, thanks for the advice. I owe 265,000 in student loan debt. I applied for loan forgiveness and got denied. I am going to file Chapter 7 to relieve other debt. Hmm. Because in your real life, you won't have anyone else to talk about the stuff they will not understand. They won't understand, Avriel. Avriel, I ain't gonna lie, that's a lot of student loan debt. It doesn't matter how you accumulated it. I'm not sure, but student loan forgiveness. I want you to understand something, Avriel. Student loan forgiveness programs, those are in real life, those are slave camps. That's where everybody goes that have given up believing that they will ever be able to pay off their student loan debt. Okay. Now, I want you also to understand something too, Avriel. It doesn't matter who they are. Doctors are in student loan forgiveness programs. Lawyers are in student loan forgiveness programs. Pharmacists are in student loan forgiveness programs. Janitors are in student loan forgiveness programs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they are. Don't think just poor people are in student loan forgiveness programs. Don't be fooled. That's a lie. To get rid of that much student loan debt, Averill, you will have to do some unbelievable sacrificing. Just like Hyphy said, you would have to stay here because only SMD would ever understand what you're doing. Shout out to West Splash for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Debt Jesus, my apology. I'm late on the sermon. Please pardon. Stay blessed. What's up, Leroy? All these terms, LOL, glad I really uses them in live. Nice says, a while back in a relationship group on another side, I said that upon meeting a man, I tell him he got a clean slate with me. All the other women said, nope, can't do that. Big reason why they single. Yeah. You will see that it's funny to see when again, back to the YouTube channels. When I see alpha males with YouTube channels, it makes me laugh, really, because I can clearly see what they're doing. Now, in order for me to know what the reason why they're doing it, I would have to see their personal credit report. Their personal credit report, and I know it seems weird, but whatever, put it this way. If you see a YouTube channel with the alpha male, right? In order to know if he believes what he's saying or he's doing it for business, there's two reasons why he's doing it. Either for business or he actually believes what he's saying. Okay, I'm gonna say that one more time. He's either doing it for strictly for business or he actually believes what he's saying. And the only way to tell that is to see their personal credit report. Their personal credit report will answer that question for me. Okay, because I can't see it. I only can see what he's showing me, he or she. Now, this is another thing. When you decide as an alpha male to maybe you're getting close to, you want to settle down with a woman, right? It's just time for you. You won't settle for anything less than an alpha female. One of the questions will be, we need to exchange personal credit reports. Now, an alpha female will know why you're asking that question, because if somebody was getting serious with me and she turned around and said, hey, Linnell, before we go any further, I need to see your personal credit report. Number one, I will know why she's asking that question. Because slaves don't ask that question. Slaves don't even know to ask that question. When relationships start in the regular slave world or whatever, right? They never, that's not one of the requirements. They don't say, hey, yeah, before we get together, let's exchange personal credit reports. That never happens. That's never even asked. They don't even know to ask. But as an alpha male, there will be nothing less. That's one of the that's a requirement. That's not an option. That's a requirement. Because if you're personally getting together, sharing your bodies, sharing your lives, but you're too scared to share credit reports, that doesn't make sense. That's personal. Yeah, that's personal. I know. We're having sex. Isn't that personal? But I can't see your personal credit report. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. That wouldn't happen in your world because you wouldn't allow it. You wouldn't move as an alpha male. I wouldn't move in with a person without seeing their move in with a person because the sex is good. They look good without seeing their credit report first. I wouldn't do that. That'd be legally tying myself to a slave. I would never do that ever. And you know, so crazy when as I think about it, I remember when I was in debt, and this is crazy. I think, well, I know for a fact that I met a alpha female. Okay. But I didn't know it at the time because I was in my mind was in the wrong my mind was in the wrong spot. Okay, I was in debt. I thought life was, a nice car, good job, nice place to live, blah blah blah, right? Well, I remember coming across a woman, same thing, energy was strong, but the sexual energy was not there. That was the weirdest thing. Okay, I just didn't understand that part. She was a good-looking woman, nice body, but the sexual connection just was not there, and I couldn't explain it. But anyway, uh, I remember she had a house and she had older cars, right? And she had just a regular job, but she owned some property, right? But she didn't have car payments. She used to, and when I think back, she used to always tell me, "Oh no, I'm cool with having the cars I have," and but she wasn't pushing it down my throat or anything, right? Now I think about it, she was a debt-free alpha male, alpha female, because she owned a house and she was part owner of some kind of apartment complex or something like that. And I remember hearing, and she used to kind of just throw that out to me when I was dating her, but it just wasn't registering because I was in debt. I was in a debt matrix, and I thought since her cars were not nicer than mine, I was somehow ahead of her. Since her job that she since I my job paid better than hers, I thought I was above her financially, right? But the opposite was true, but I didn't even know it. And that's one before the relationship I'm in now. I'm just saying, thinking about the past. My answer to that question, Quentin, is no, you can't. That's impossible. You can't be high value deep in debt. That's impossible. You can't do that. High value to who? The only a person that believes they're high value but they're deep in debt and don't even know how much debt they're in. You're only high value to other people in debt, other slaves like you. I'm sure there are different levels in the slave kingdom in the debt matrix. I'm sure other slaves think they're higher than other slaves because their job is better, they drive a nicer car. They just think that, but they don't really understand they're all below zero. It doesn't matter what level under zero you are. Shout out to West Splash for the super chat, 499 super chat. In my opinion, true alpha is desireless. Everything is in the palm of their hands. True alpha, and you're right. DJ Alpha Debt Jesus has no debt. You know what? I guess that does make sense. Desireless. I like that. You're right. I don't really desire the things I used to desire when I was in debt. It just like and back to the alpha, back to the high value. You hear that all the time on these relationship channels, right? Oh, a high value person is this, and high value. If they're in debt, they're only high value to other slaves. Because most slaves believe if this person is a successful went to this college, makes this amount of money, and a successful doctor, they think they're high value because they're a doctor. No, eh, look how much if they're in debt, no, they're just a high value slave. I wanted to address this too. Okay, Atlanta says LJ, most YouTube guys are broke. I have been trying to debate Kevin Samuels, but he refuses. Ask him to bring me on his show and let's compare tax return, credit reports, bank statement. Oh, okay, Atlanta. Let me see. I can say this. Kevin Samuels is doing business. Okay. He is not now. I don't know him personally. I don't watch a show. I'm just going by the few things I've seen. Like don't get me wrong. Don't I'm not acting like I've never watched one of his shows, but I'm only on there about 10, 15 minutes max because I know he's not talking to me, right? I just watch to see how he's doing it. Now, when I watch him, you got to remember he's just showing you what he wants to show you of his life. Whatever the room looks like, fancy things moving around. Got his haircut, suits or whatever. He's just showing the world what he wants to know of him, that part of him, whatever. And that when I see his videos, that's what I see. I'm seeing the part of Kevin Samuels that he wants me to see. I don't look at it any deeper than that. Okay. I look at it as, wow, look what he's got subscribers. Look how many people on his lives, whatever he's doing that he's trying to achieve. It looks like it's working if you're trying to achieve. Now, I also look at it differently because I know myself. I'm a debt-free alpha male. So I know nobody outside of myself can tell me anything about myself because I'm me. So when I see that many people come on the lives, I think, wow, there's a lot of lost people that need his guidance, that believe they need his guidance. That's all I really see. He's not it'll be detrimental for his channel to have you come on and compare stuff because he doesn't need to compare anything because that's not his goal. His goal is as a business to provide the service that those people are wanting. They're paying for it. Have you seen some of the super chat thing, the amounts that he gets on the show? They're paying for it. So that means it's working. It doesn't really matter that you believe he's lying or you think he's not telling the truth or whatever. If whatever he's doing is legal, it's cool with me. I don't really care. It doesn't, and again, I don't really look at other people's channels like that. I always go over there and say, wow, there's a lot of people that don't believe in themselves. They believe that people that go to his channel, they don't really understand. He can only give you his version of the whatever high value is, and whatever high value means to Kevin Samuels in his world. That's the only version he can tell the other people because only his version, because he's only him. When I listen to him say what a high value person is, you know what I think? I'd say, oh, that's not true. That's not true. No, I said it wrong. That's not what it means to me. High value means something totally different to me. For me, for a high value person to be, you can't be in debt. You can't be a high value slave. That doesn't even make any sense. You're a high value slave. And when people hear me say slave, and this is what I'm gonna start telling slaves as soon as they say, "Oh, why you call me a slave?" You know what I'm gonna say? I didn't call you a slave. The Bible calls you a slave. That's where I read it. Proverbs 22:7 says, if you have a mortgage, you're a slave. The borrower is slave to the, no, excuse me. Let me make sure I say that right. The borrower is slave to the lender. So if you have a mortgage, the bank is the lender and you're the slave, but you believe you're a homeowner. No, the Bible says you're not a homeowner. The Bible says you're a slave. It's just crazy. You got to remember this too. When you hear somebody say they make X amount of money, like when you hear somebody makes $1 million, and if you think $1 million a lot, that's how when you say $1 million to 10 different people, some people will think it's a lot. Some people might not think it's nothing at all. When you get out of debt, you will clearly see $1 million is not a lot of money. It's really irrelevant. Money's really irrelevant, to tell you the truth. Happiness is determined by me, not money, me. Now, if you ask the average person in debt, hey man, do you think you can retire off $1 million? They will tell you no. If I had $1 million in cash, no investments, I could have it sit there in the bank or wherever I put it, and without any investment, I could live, I could retire on it without investing any of it. Yeah, and that is a good question though. Why, Atlanta, why would you even want to debate him? I mean, that kind of, it really doesn't make sense. What would be your what is your goal, to try to say he's a phony or something? Or, you know, I suggest this, man. Don't even, if put it this way, if he yeah, okay, well, okay, put it this way, Atlanta. Put it ATL, excuse me. ATL. He's not he's not fooling anybody. If it's a trick, it's not. If it's legit, it's okay. If whatever he's doing is legal, it doesn't matter what he's doing. If what he's doing is legal, because he's not fooling anybody. All you got to do is believe in yourself, and you won't really care about what other people say. People in debt will still come back to Kevin because they want to be sold. Exactly, they will. No different than velocity banking, right? Velocity banking is a pipe dream. The only person that can get a person out of debt is yourself. Nothing outside of yourself can get you out of debt faster. But slaves always want to believe that there's a different way out of debt. Nope, there is no other way out of debt, slaves. You have to give up the time in your life to earn the money to get out of debt. Period. That's it. There's no other way. But listen, if people don't believe in themselves, if people don't trust mathematics, there are people outside that will sell them something because they don't believe in themselves. That's why they're being sold. Wes says, "Come on, guys. We all know YouTube entertainment is entertainment. Majority of all the YouTubers are losers who pretend. Yes, your favorite YouTuber is lame. Slaves love getting entertained. That's why they will remain slaves. That is true. That's why when they come to this channel, I try to stay real as possible. Okay. I don't want people coming, oh man, LJ claimed he was a millionaire. Nope, no, I'm not. Not even close. Doesn't even matter. When somebody asks me, hey, because I always get that question. They always ask me about my finances. Are you a millionaire? You know the question I ask them? Do you know how much debt you're in? If they say no, I say, don't worry about how much money I'm making. It doesn't matter to you. I could be making $1 an hour and still have more money than you. So 1 million. See, slaves don't understand that. They're deep in debt, right? They don't realize me having just $1 in my pocket makes me richer than them. But they think it has to be 1 million. Most slaves think you have to have $200,000 in the bank to prove something to them. They don't realize $1, a penny. It don't even need to be $1. I could have a penny in my pocket and say, this right here says I have more money than you. They'll say, what do you mean? I say, you have 20-year-old student loans. This penny says I have more money than you. They will never get that. I'm not sure how to turn to having to explain that. Oh, Aaron asked him that question. Oh, okay. Gotcha. My bad. I didn't see the very beginning. Yeah. Why would you want to prove anything to anyone? You live for others. Exactly. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. I don't. Like when I was on Ramil's channel the other day, I said, ask to see people's personal credit report. They said, oh man, let me see yours. I said, here's the video, here's the link. Go look at it. I logged into my Credit Karma Live for everybody to see. Shut them up quick. Oh, damn. I ain't seen nobody do that. I know you haven't seen anybody do that. That's why I made it. This is why I made a video of me logging into my Credit Karma. It shuts slaves up so fast because that's something that they would never do. Never even seen that on YouTube. Go find another person logging in live and recorded it into their Credit Karma. Go find somebody. You won't. Asking to see a credit report and asking for someone's STD and STI test results are in the same boat, in that it's like asking for a kidney. Their reaction will tell you everything you need to know. Exactly, Wayman. Sure will. I agree with Jewel. You ain't never lying. Hey, what's up, young Grump? What's going on? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. See how young Grump knows he's a conscious slave. You think you can tell that to an unconscious slave, that you call yourself a conscious slave? They would say, the unconscious slave will say to the conscious slave, hey, why are you calling yourself a slave? They will not even know that what they're telling you, they're telling the conscious slave everything they need to know about the unconscious slave. You're obviously unconscious because you don't even know you're a slave. Yeah, I agree with NISA. What's wrong with encouraging people to strive for six figures and up? What's wrong with wanting the biggest salary possible? Sounds foolish to want five figures or less. Yeah, I mean, again, if he's encouraging people, and again, I don't watch his show. Okay, I'm just going by what you guys are telling me. All right, if he's encouraging people to do this, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, get more, do more. But here, I want you guys to also understand something. Okay, hearing the phrase six figures, that's a program in your brain. When you hear like when I was in the debt matrix, when I heard somebody made six figures, I thought that was wow, they make good money. That's a program. Okay, you're programmed to believe six figures is a lot of money. Like if you're a person out there and you hear somebody making six figures and you think to yourself, wow, that's a lot of money, I promise you that's a program. You're programmed to believe six figures is a lot of money. It's not. A lot of money is whatever you deem it to be. It doesn't have to be a certain number. It doesn't have to be 100,000. It doesn't have to be 1,000,000. It doesn't have to be 20 million. And it has to be whatever you determine a lot of money is. That's up to you. Yeah, I agree with that, Leroy. I mean, well, here I don't allow that kind of stuff, man. It makes no progress, right? It's very frustrating. Wes says, I have a question for you. Let's say you out of debt. In my opinion, let's say you out of debt. Okay. In my opinion, if you're not a business owner, I consider you still a slave. What's your opinion of SavingsMinusDebt? Let's say you out of debt. In my opinion, if you're not yes and no. Um, if you need a job, you're a slave. Okay. If you need it, business owners. Now, I don't want people, and this is what I really want people to understand. The definition of business owner is different for everyone. Okay. Because the business can own them. I don't want people thinking because a person is a business owner, they're not a slave, because there are plenty of people with businesses that own them. The business owns them. They're not a business owner. Okay. And the way I could tell that a successful business owner, I would have to see their personal credit report. It will tell me if if they're successful in business. Their personal credit report will tell me this. So again, I don't really go by names. I don't really go by, oh, this person, I wouldn't say, oh, so and so is a business. So I wouldn't assume that they're not a slave. Nope. I still don't know anything until I see a person's personal credit report. I don't know anything. I don't assume anything. So I don't want people thinking that if you have a job, you're a slave. If you need the job, if like this is how you know you need a job. If you work at a place you hate, you're totally disrespected. They call you anytime they want. You need that job. They own you. Let me say that one more time. If you work at a place you hate, you got disrespectful superiors. They call you even after hours. They expect you to answer emails after hours. They expect you to answer the phone after hours. You need that job. You're a slave because that's how slaves are treated. They make slaves work for free. Okay. And you take it and they totally walk in, disrespect you, talk to you any old way they want. If somebody off the street can't, think about it this way. If your boss disrespects you, and think about what he or she says to you, right? If a stranger came up to you and did the exact same thing, you would not accept that. If a stranger came up and disrespected you out of nowhere, you wouldn't take that. You wouldn't be like, oh, okay. You know why you accept it? Because you're a slave. If you accept the same treatment from another human being at your work, you accept it because you're a slave. You're welcome, Wes. Feels so good to be debt free from debt. To be free from debt, it is a massive load off one's shoulders. I'm glad I found your channel via Ramil's live stream. The content is awesome. Thank you. You are welcome, Jake. Just says, why do you need credit if you practice SMD? Credit is a tool. I use credit. I just don't tell slaves that because slaves won't understand. Oh man, I thought you said if you use a credit card. I'm not explaining that to you, slave. I thought you said credit doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't, but it's a tool. I don't think a hammer is a big deal, but in order for me to put a nail in a piece of wood, I need it. I can't do it with my hand. I hate when managers who are slaves think they own the. Yeah, exactly. But as a debt-free employee, you will make sure that manager understands that if they decide to disrespect you at work, you will tell them, hey, don't talk to me like that. You'll say it on the spot because you got to remember, if they believe they can disrespect you in front of others, you can respond in front of others because the people around you need to see that that's unacceptable. This is why I know for a fact I would never be able to fit back into. First of all, that would feel like having a job would feel like prison to me. Okay, that's number one right off the bat. Knowing somebody owns 40 hours a week out of my life every week, no, hell no. But anyway, even if I had a job and somebody thought they could disrespect me, no, they would know right away. Oh yeah, I'm different. Yeah, I'm not just like everybody else. That's not me. My cousin owns a lawn service business. He's a slave. He never has time for himself. Then he moved into another bigger house with a mortgage. See what I'm saying? The business owns him. So don't be fooled by somebody calling themselves a business owner. It doesn't mean they're free. Doesn't mean they're free. That happened to me too. When I quit my job, they asked, hey, where you going? Why are you leaving? All this other stuff. They said the same thing. They said, what you going to do? I said, I don't know. And let me put this link in here just in case. Oh, that's a YouTube link. Not that link. That's a YouTube link. If you own your home, rental properties, and business free and clear, do you really need credit? Oh, not even close. Yeah, you don't need credit for any of that. But again, I'm not against business credit. Okay, let me make sure that's clear. I'm not against business credit, and this is why. Once you're debt free, the business of yourself is in business. So is in business. So say like it's time for you to go into business and you're going to get a business loan. Okay. This is your first of all, number one, you're not crossing your fingers and hoping you get it. That's number one. Number two, you're only going to accept the absolute best business loan on the market, else you're not doing your business. You walk into the biggest bank in your city, state, whatever you want to do, and you say, "Hey, what's the best business loan you have to offer to people?" They're going to say it's this, and here's the requirements. And then you're gonna get this list. It's black and white. You're gonna look down the list and see if you meet the requirements or you don't. If you don't meet the requirements, you're not ready for a business. That's right off the bat. That's 101. I use my credit card everywhere. I barely use cash. I barely even have it. The only time I have to go get it is when I go get my hair cut, you know? Yeah, I get that. People who own a business and work 80 to 100 hours a week, them seems slavish, right? That is slavery. That business owns them. I don't want to work any hours a week. That's where I'm trying to get. I'm trying to make money while I sleep. Now again, now when I say work, when you guys see me on this mic, this is not work. I'm gonna make money doing something that doesn't feel like work. When I'm on this mic, I don't feel like I'm working. I absolutely love what I do. I love it. And people always say, "Well, how much money do you make from doing that, Linnell? Does it matter to you?" They always try to put a price tag on something and see if it's even worth. Say like you're doing something, right? Slaves will put a price tag and say, "Well, how much money you earning from that?" And if you say, "Yeah, I only make $5 each time I do something, whatever," they're gonna be like, "Ooh, that's not worth it." Not worth it to who? You? This is what I tell a slave sometimes. This is because they don't really understand. Time is the most valuable thing on earth, not money. Time. You have to be. And this is not even, and I'm gonna say this because it's not even bragging. I'm not even like I'm saying anything like I'm the superior of anything. But if you can figure out, like people to even talk to me, you got to pay $100 to talk to me. Do you know what kind of work you got to put in to earn people's trust? To spend $100 just to talk to a person? Try to figure that out. See, because people go out, they start a business and they go after the money. They got to figure out the money. You got to get out and earn people's trust. In a whole untrusted people right now in this world right now, people don't trust one another. And you get out here and earn people's trust in one of the worst times in this century. That's the goal. It's not money. So when I go to another person's channel and I see people dropping chat $300-400 chat super chats, I'm not jealous. That doesn't make me, oh man, I better do what he's doing so I can get no. That would be me going after the money. Trust is the main thing. Once you earn a person's trust, they will continue to spend with you. You know why? Because they trust you. They trust that whatever amount of money they spend with you, they're going to get their money's worth. And they are. They're going to get it. Jake says, "Do you feel that one day physical cash may get phased out and everyone will have to use debit or credit card purchases?" Let me tell you something right now, Jake. And maybe you'll understand this and maybe you won't. Money doesn't exist at all. Gold doesn't exist, silver, Paper dollars, when you see a 10 and a 20 and 100, none of that exists for slaves. You got to understand something. It's all digital. Credit is digital. Credit is not real. If they're under zero, everything in their entire life is digital. They just don't know it. When you hear about cryptocurrency and all that stuff, I swear to God, I promise you, I guarantee you the banks are doing that. That's the banks. They just make up shit and slaves believe it. Oh, they're going to phase out the physical dollars. Well, if you believe it's going to, maybe they'll take it away and then slaves will believe it would. Slaves don't even realize it doesn't even exist. What's up, young grunt?
Hey, yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I wanted to say something real quick. Right now, I'm working my side job, and I just like listening to your videos every day because
Cool,
right now,
cool.
right now I'm walking with like a negative 7,000 over my head, and I'm just every time I'm working these hours and getting this money, it's like it don't exist to me, but it's going towards my negative just to get to zero. So yeah, I appreciate what you're doing, man.
Yeah, man. You got a goal now while you're at work. It's not just, hey, I'm at work. Now you're there with a goal. That's the difference. That's how you're gonna look at your job. My job is to just get me out of debt, period.
Yes, sir. And I'm glad I
Mhm.
had that talk with you because it's like it stick to me. It's like a purpose now, and it's like extra motivation and determination. So
Mm,
yeah, heck
mm.
yeah.
I appreciate that, man. And you know what? And I mean this, man. I really appreciate that you had enough trust in me to talk to me, to schedule an appointment and to talk to me. And I appreciate that
Yeah,
because
that's
I
no
had to earn that. You know what I'm saying? And that just you just don't people just don't say, I'm gonna spend money with this person without trusting them. You know what I'm saying?
that is true. Yeah, you earn that. You earn that trust for real.
Because I'm not physically giving you something for money, right? I'm giving you something that you're gonna be able to carry your entire life forever.
Intellectual property.
Yes, exactly. And when you get older and you practice this right now at your age, when you decide to have children, guess what? You're gonna naturally pass that to your children. You're gonna naturally do it.
And that's that generational wealth we talking about.
Correct. Correct. You won't even pick a when you pick your partner that you decide. I mean, you're 25, okay, so don't worry about that right now. But I'm saying when you decide one day it will happen, you won't accept anything less in a partner. You won't.
Oh yeah, and right. I listened to your other live when you was talking about dating and savings, and you had said no matter how hard you is, like she might have a fat ass or whatever, but you were thinking ahead, damn, she got that $20,000 student loan debt.
Yep.
You had me dying laughing in the car. I was like, this guy is on point, and that thing changed my mindset. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't care how she looks. She could look like Buffy the Body, but I'm gonna just be like, oh, that $20,000 go me get me from hard to soft. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll never forget protection. You especially if you know it is for what it is, you'll never accidentally forget protection. You won't say you're too drunk or too high, whatever. That will never ever happen because you'll never tie yourself to a slave ever.
That's facts right there, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm gonna just go back to work and
You're
keep on.
welcome, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep listening to you, man. Keep doing your thing. I appreciate you again, man, for real.
All right. Appreciate you. Yeah, I can always tell when especially the younger dudes, man. I can tell when it clicks with them, man. It's just to be that young. See, and the younger you are, you don't really realize the advantage you have not having this knowledge that I'm sharing with you. Just don't even get it. Your whole life is going to change. Your generation, I mean, your kids, I mean, it's no guarantee that your kids are going to listen to you, but they're going to know. You know, when you know this knowledge and you raise your kids and they just say like they decide, I don't care what dad says, I'm gonna go ahead and finance a car. And then when they get in over their head, guess what they're gonna say? Damn, my dad was telling me that shit since I was born. I thought he was just talking shit. I thought he was just being mean. They're gonna say all that stuff, and then they're gonna come back and say, damn, he told me that. This is generational. You need time to earn people's trust. Aaron's right. First, I had to own my time because you guys are and let me say it this way, because this is the best way it will click with a lot of you guys listening in the background. I want you to understand something, okay? And I'm telling you this because I own my time. I own 99% of the time in my life. I own 99%. The reason why I don't own 100% is because I don't own where I live. That's it. I don't own, but that's about to change. Okay. That's about to change. Once I own where I live, I will own 100% of the time in my life. Now, time is the most valuable thing on earth. It's more than money. It's more than anything. Why? Because one day you're going to be dead. That's a fact. You're going to die. So by default, time is the most valuable thing on earth. Now, out of a week, out of 7 days, if your employer owns 5 of those days and you only own two, that means by default, your job owns more of the time in your life than you. I'm going to say that one more time. Time is the most valuable thing on earth. If your job, out of 7 days a week, if your job owns 5 of those days, that means you only own two. Now I need you to just walk around, sit with that for a while. When you have your coffee in the morning, when you drive, especially like when you're okay. This is the time to think about it. When you're sitting in traffic. Okay. Now I just told you 5 of the days, right? Now listen. When you're sitting in traffic, an hour to go to a place that you don't even want to go to, that's another hour out of your life of something that you don't even control. You're not even getting paid for it. You're just sitting in traffic because you believe you have to. And then after work, you're going to do the exact same thing. And it better not be bad weather, because if it's bad weather, you're going to be sitting in traffic even longer. Let's say 2 hours that you don't even own. So not only does your employer own 5 days out of the week and you only own two, they own more than that because you're doing something to get to a place that you don't even want to go to. Now find out how many hours you have left really to, because you got to sleep. You have to sleep too, right? And then you got to add in other stuff, try to fit in other stuff. Like when you're at work, let me explain something to you at work. When you're at work and you miss your child's game, and then you come home after work and say, "Hey, baby, sorry I missed your game. I'll make it up to you." You just lied to your child. Because that time in time is gone forever. You got a time machine. How you gonna make up that time? You got a time machine. If you had a time machine, you wouldn't be having a job. You can't go back in time. That's gone forever. You can't make it up. You better open your eyes. You better, and the sooner you do it, the better you are. This my man here, Young Grump. He is 25. He don't even know. Young Grump don't even know because he hasn't. Put it this way: Young Grump will never have to experience debt the way I did. He will never have to know it. He'll never have to understand it. He will never even feel it. Debt is something that it's so heavy on your head. It just sits on your head. You don't even know it's there. You just think it's part of life. He will never know what that is. Once that money amount of that little bit of peanuts he has right now is going to be gone, he will never have to feel that pressure anymore. And everybody's going to know he's different, but they're not going to even understand why he's so different. You know, I mean, I know people don't really understand this part, but you know how many bad relationships he's going to avoid throughout his life? He's never going to have to experience it. He won't have to be in child custody court cases and paying, the child support thing and judges. He will have skipped all that because he will never date a slave. Slaves are money hungry because the money doesn't exist for them. They have no idea why they're always chasing it, because it doesn't exist. That's why slaves are always chasing money, because it doesn't exist. It's an illusion. That's why they never catch it. Now, again, you try to tell a slave that, they won't understand what you're saying. They'll pull money out of their pocket and say, "It's real. Look, I'm touching it." No, it's not. He will never have to deal with money hungry slaves because they don't know they're slaves. And see, this is the advantage that Young Grump will have also, that maybe he'll know this and maybe he'll know this later. Here, slaves have a financial pattern that they don't even know they have. Slaves have a financial pattern that they don't even know they have. What is that pattern? They don't trust mathematics, and they don't even know they don't trust mathematics. That's their pattern. What's up, Steven?
What's going on, LJ? What's going on, SMD family?
What's happening?
Man, I called in to the show that you did the collab with Ramil, but I had to drop off. I was slaving away at work on my lunch break, so I had to drop off. But I wanted to tell you the story, but I need the SMD family to really listen how this debt matrix can get a hold of people.
Go ahead and have the mic real quick because I got to take a quick break, but go ahead. You got the floor.
Okay, so I want the SMD family to listen to this closely. I got a friend of mine. We've been friends. We met at work, and we've been friends for about 14 years. So ever since that I come across LJ back in June, I've been practicing getting debt free and working on everything, to get my family financially free and things like that. So because me and him, we've been so, close friends, I started dropping him some videos every now and then, letting them know, hey, you know what, I paid off this credit card. Every time I talk to him, he's like, man, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of you, man. I wish I could get myself in that situation. So he sounded like he's really into this. Like he really wants to do it, but I think his hindrance is his wife is a consumer. This I know because I've known him for 14 years. So Wednesday, he sent me a text and say, hey, man, you'll never believe I just got this 72-inch TV. Now, again, about 2 weeks ago, he told me that he had no extra money to even, when I started explaining to him how to pay off your lowest debt to the highest debt, to start working out, he's like, man, I don't have any extra money to even pay towards any of my credit cards, right? So this was about a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So he sends me a text Wednesday, said, man, I got this 72-inch TV that was on sale at Best Buy. Now, again, I already know what he's done. I already know this. So I know that he's gotten a loan from his 401k. He didn't have to tell me that because he had no extra money. So I know, and this is a normal practice for him. Mm-hmm. About at least every two or 3 years, he gets a 401k loan. Okay. So now I said, well, man, you got that TV. I thought you really wanted that new iPhone. He's like, man, it's in the mail. You had to pre-order it. I'll have it Friday. Okay, that's strike two. New TV, new TV, 3 strikes.
Now, does he know how you are, or how is he talking? Does he know how you are?
He knows since I came across your channel, he knows how I am now. He basically knows, because I'm always trying to drop that seed.
The reason why I ask is I'm surprised he's talking to you like this. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what you're going to say.
Well, you know what I do? I don't call him the slave. I just kind of like try to drop some hints because okay. I know one of his issues is as long as I've known him. Now, this was something he told me. He doesn't believe, and he got this from his stepfather. He doesn't believe in leftovers. Okay, so almost ever since I've known him, he'll eat out lunch every day at work. Him and his wife on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're going to order out. Lunch and dinner. That's yeah. So you know how much money he's spending. So these are 3 strikes he's had. Not only has he taken out a 401k loan, he's bought a new TV, he's gotten a new phone. Now, here's the kicker. Even though he has enough money from the 401k loan to pay cash for the TV and the phone, he's financing them.
God.
He's financing them. See,
so he took out a 401k loan so he can make more payments.
Exactly. He took out the 401k loan thinking mentally, I'm going to pay down my debt. But no, he went and bought a TV, and I know that phone, he's financing it.
Of course.
He would have
he probably got the top one, which is about $1,500.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
He got the
mm,
brand. He
mm.
got the brand new one. And this is just and this is what I want to say to the family is that there's a
Mhm.
lot of people that are listening in the background that need to be calling you.
Right.
You know, that's why and that's why, like you say, you only have the family. We only have so many people to listen. More people will
Mhm.
listen. You have to drop that seed of knowledge to everybody that you know.
Mhm.
I dropped the knowledge to my oldest daughter, my son, and my youngest daughter. My
Mhm.
youngest daughter is the only one that's caught on.
Mm.
Her birthday is today. She just turned 24, and she's
Oh,
the only one that
nice.
paid cash for her car from
Mm.
listening to me.
Okay.
I
Okay.
told her, when she asked me, I said, I'm not co-signing for you. I said, if you want a car, you need, because she asked, trust me, she asked her mom first, then she
Uh-huh.
asked me, and I said, what did your mom say? She said, well, she told me to ask you. Right? I told her, I said, look, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
And so and I told her, I said, look, do what you gotta do. If you need help, I'm here for you, but you
Right.
gotta go out
Right.
at 24. You don't need to be financing no car. And she
Or
bought it
don't.
cash. She bought it cash. I
Nice.
said, don't worry. I said, don't worry about giving me no money for nothing. Just do what you got to do.
Right.
And she
Right.
saved up about $5,000. She bought her own car.
Oh
And
man, congratulations. You don't even know that move. Oh my
yeah,
God.
and and you just, and I just try to drop knowledge. I don't try to push it on people. But like
What
I
about the
say
rest of
now,
her debt? You know if she's still in debt? Is she trying to get out or what is
oh, oh no, my daughter has no debt because
okay, good. Good.
she's been living with me for probably about the last, since she
Okay.
was in high school. So she's
Okay.
been living with me. She has no other debt.
Nice.
and
Okay.
um and I just try to tell people, because like I said, I'm about 4 or 5 months away from being down to one debt, my house. and i
Mhm.
and I just tell the family, look, y'all need to be calling LJ to get that plan together, because even when I get down to only having my mortgage, I'm making that call, and I'm going to pay him what he's worth, because from June to now, you don't know, LJ, how much money you saved me just for me listening to you. You just don't know. I can't tell you that
You know what's
figure.
so funny, Steven? I do know because you let me know.
I'm just telling people, people not listening. They need to, because sometimes people, they almost have to know somebody that it's happened to for them to
Right.
believe it. And every
Right.
time I tell people I know, I say, look, I know when you see something on TV or you see something on the internet and a person say, I did this, you don't really believe them because you don't know if it's really
Right.
real, because you don't know
Right.
them. And I
Right.
tell my family, I'm your living proof. I'm your living proof. I tell them, I said, look, now I don't tell this to people that might ask me for a loan,
Right.
but
Right.
this is what I tell people. I say, look, from the time I started listening to LJ back when the pandemic, a little bit after the pandemic hit,
Mhm.
it didn't affect my job. So I'm working, making money, working overtime, making money, and I'm
Mhm.
doing this savings. And then when I came across you, it dawned on me what you said. You don't have no money if you in debt. So
Right.
why the hell am I stacking money when I got debt? And
Mhm.
I start paying it off. And I have right now, and I've told you this before,
Mhm.
that since July, I have no bills other than my mortgage for the rest of this year.
Nice. Oh man, now you can't explain that type of freedom, right? You can't explain it.
You can't even explain it, because
Okay.
people were like, what do you mean you have no bills? I said, there are certain things like you got to have water to live. You got to have
Yeah, that's
electricity.
what they always say. They were like, "How you not have a water bill?" This is what you got to respond with. I'm not talking about things that keep me alive. I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm not talking
Exactly.
about bills. Will I die with no food? Yeah, of course I have to have food. You know.
Right, exactly. And I say, you got to have internet. I work from home, so I got to have internet.
Right.
You got to have water. You got to have electricity. I say, but outside of my living expenses, I have no bills for the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And it leaves my mind free to
Mm-hmm.
decide to do what I want to do when I decide to walk away from my job. It
Yeah.
just opens my mind. No stress. I don't have no more due dates. I removed them from my calendar. I don't have no alerts.
Now let me ask you this. No, so let me ask you this. Now you said you work from home, right?
Right.
So and this is more for the people that are listening in the background. Now,
Okay.
Can people in your family, your friends, can they tell that something's different about Stephen?
Yeah, I noticed this a few weeks ago when I went to my granddaughter's birthday party. I wore the T-shirt, by the way. Every time I step, because look, I don't go out of the house that often, but when I do go out, I always had them the two T-shirts I got from you. I always had them ready to go because it helps to start conversations, because we know that slaves don't want to talk about their finances. So sometimes sometimes I'm in the line at Walmart, a brother look and say, man, what you mean about Google savings minus debt is how much money I have in real life? And then we just start having a conversation.
Wow.
But when I wore that T-shirt to my granddaughter's birthday party, and I had about 6 people sitting at the table when the kids were playing that was sitting there listening to me tell them everything that you teach us. I'm telling them, look, just because you think you're a homeowner, if you got a mortgage, you ain't no the bank. I tell miss a payment and the bank will show you who owns that house.
They sure will. They'll let you know real fast.
They'll let you know real. They'll just know. But the only thing I have not been able to decrease how much I pay a month is my internet. I've paid it, but because my company basically regulates that you have to have the fastest speed. So because that way you don't have any type of disconnection problems or anything like
that. What I'm saying with that is that usually they always have, like, say like somebody that just came on. And they're brand new. They usually give them a deal on the fastest speed because they're a brand new customer.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So you can still get, cut it off, become a brand new customer, say, hey, you guys got any deals on your fastest? Oh yeah, if you're a new customer, you get it at this for a year, blah, blah, blah. And then you just play the game. That's all.
Yeah, I'm gonna just definitely try that, because I know Verizon just started having internet service. So I'm gonna check with them, but I'm gonna do I'm gonna try exactly what you're saying. But I just it's funny because with my ex-wife, she was really like deep into it. I think when everybody saw that she was listening, because look, we've been divorced for over 10 years, so all that other stuff is under the water under the bridge. But we still have a good speaking relationship. But when people saw that she was listening, it was like everybody started coming around the table like, what y'all talking about? And I just started trying to explain to her. I said, because a lot of people believe that debt is always those are forever loans, and that debt is always going to be there. So if I need to go get this, or I need to create savings, they just don't understand. You have no savings if you got debt. They don't realize that they think that even though if I get older, like 60, 65, and I decide to retire, they don't realize that debt is going to follow them, and eventually it's going to end up coming out of their retirement check or their Social Security.
You wouldn't understand if you went to a person and say, because they always think, because they, first of all, slaves think retirement's an age, right?
Right.
They always think it's a particular age, right? But next time somebody says, oh, I'm about to retire soon, or blah, 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 you say, well, your debt doesn't retire.
Right. I never used that one.
Your debt doesn't care. The bank doesn't care if you retire. They don't care.
Right. I never used that one. I have to remember that the debt don't never retire.
No, good. I mean, I don't know what setting you won't be able to use that too, but they got to notice, like, even when you're not wearing the shirts, they got to notice that your whole energy is different. They got to notice that. When you're debt free. I mean, they got to probably wonder, why is Stephen always happy so much? How come he ain't never talking about bill collectors and tax problems and all this other stuff? He never talks about this. They got to be picking up on that.
I think my job has picked up on it, because I'm gonna tell you, I haven't worked overtime since, let me see, we're in November. I want to say I haven't worked overtime since August. I might give them 1 or 2 hours every now and then. But I know they won't come out and ask. I'll just say, I said, nope, I can't work. They'll ask, can you work in overtime? Nope, I can't do it. Nope. That's my answer all the time. Nope. No explanation as to why. Nope, I can't do it. Nope.
Because
And
you don't have to give an explanation. You just say no. Because I'm surprised, well, I guess if you're good at what you do, of course they're gonna ask you, right? But
right.
because I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that that will be glad to pick up that overtime for sure.
Yes. Oh, yes. Matter of fact, one of the guys that worked with me yesterday, he put in his 2 weeks notice. So next Friday is his last day. And I was talking to him last night. Me and him we've been pretty cool. And he told me, yeah, I found this something else that's gonna work out better for me, because him and his wife, they do real estate. They're real estate agents.
Mhm.
So they both end up getting a job with a company to become underwriters.
Okay.
So, and he was just telling me, he said, yeah, man. I said, he said, are you working? I was like, no, man, I don't get no more overtime. He said, man, I just logged off at 8:00.
Ooh.
I said, okay. I said, look, you only got, I said, look, I'm not going to say nothing because you got a week left. So I'm going to let that go.
Are you guys salary or hourly?
We're hourly.
Okay.
And it's like you say, when you start working overtime, whatever that hourly is, that starts dropping. And then, when you start working that overtime, and then you get into another tax bracket, you getting taxed for all those hours. I was like, you can, and see, and it's the thing is, we have to realize you don't need to work overtime if you can afford your living expenses and you're able to pay down debt. That little extra time overtime don't mean nothing unless you got a purpose, unless you're doing it for a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And if you got a purpose of paying off debt and putting it, because overtime will get you out of debt faster. That's the only purpose, right?
Exactly. Because I was working a second job for a couple of years. I was working with I was doing part-time at Amazon, but at the time my purpose was to have enough money in savings and to be able to close on my loan. That was just my purpose at the time. Right. And I stopped, once I hit my purpose, I let it go, because I didn't need it. I didn't need it anymore. And
well, see, slaves don't really understand is that when you don't have no debt, you don't really need that much money. So you don't need to work overtime, right? You don't even need it.
Exactly. You don't even need
more things that you love. You won't have to miss your kids' games. You don't have to say, oh, I can't do this because I'm working overtime. You won't have to say never. You will always be able to do the things you want to do. Exactly. And not miss the times that you're going to miss forever. Because I can, like, when I think back raising my children, man, I can't count how many games I missed because I had to work. I couldn't make it in time because the traffic I was stuck and blah, blah, blah. If I had been debt free, I wouldn't have missed nothing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I had those same thoughts. My kids were younger. They were, in sports and in music and stuff like that. But it's like, man, it's a different feeling. It's like you say, people notice. They look at you funny. It's like you see that they know,
right?
But they don't know that you see them.
And so crazy when I think about it, as I'm telling you, I remember saying a couple times, like if I missed something, I would say, if I didn't work these amount of hours, you couldn't have played that sport, or you couldn't got this car, you couldn't have got this house. So I would turn around and use that against, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't be able to play that sport if I didn't work these hours to have the money to allow you to play the sport. No, one has nothing to do with the other. Nothing.
Yeah. It was so funny because of something that happened about a month ago. I resolved this morning. I had paid off my Chase card to zero, right? Mm-hmm. So I made a payment on like the 11th, made the balance zero. Mm-hmm. And then about 2 days later, they charged me like $31 interest, right? So I think that they were charging me interest on the previous balance.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So what I did was I was like, hell no, So I went on, made a payment of $30. I said, I need my balance to be zero. And like a couple of days later, they credit me that $30 interest fee.
All right. That's what I was just about to ask, because I would have called them up quick fast. Hey, you guys can't charge me interest on something that doesn't exist?
Exactly. So I called them this morning, and the lady, she did say that. She said, yeah, we accidentally charged you the interest fee even though you had paid it off. I think he said, I think that was like an automatic system thing that didn't catch it. So
And
she was
so
like,
funny, so
was
crazy.
that?
They always say that. How many? Put it this way: how much money do you think they make off of people not checking that shit?
Exactly.
Like if they
So
charged you that and you would have said to yourself, "Oh, it's only $31," and you wasn't even supposed to be charged it, that's free money.
yep.
And then when you catch them on it, right, you call them and say, "Hey, blah blah. Oh, sorry, sir, our system, that was automatic." That's all they got to say is, "Sorry, that was a mistake. Here, we'll take it off." That's it.
Yep.
You better follow the big boys. That's how the big boys do it.
And you know what was funny is because after she recognized that, she said, do you want to just go ahead and use the $30, or do you want us to give you a refund? I said, go ahead. God. I said, send me the refund. And then once I noticed that the balance shows zero, I'm going to call you back to cancel my card. And and then she started talking about asking like, for your inconvenience, we could go ahead and just increase your limit if you want.
For your convenience. for your convenience. See, hey man, Stephen, you better learn from the big boys. You see how they do it? For your convenience, exactly. We'll increase your limit. For your convenience.
Right. So I was like, nah, that's okay, because once I see that balance, it's going back to zero. After you guys issue that refund, I'm gonna go ahead and just close my account.
Trying to pull that slick shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand it's business. Okay, I can only imagine the millions of people that don't even look at their credit card statements. They don't even look at them. Too afraid to look at the balance. They could just throw all kind of shit up in there. Oh, that was a computer error. Oh, that was our mistake. And this, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I just like I said, I just want to tell the family, all the people listening. I know the family know, but everybody that's there listening in the background, y'all need to, I don't consume a lot of TV, but I consume a lot of YouTube content, and I have to say about 90% of it is LJ. He'll tell you I go back into the archives.
Yeah, you do.
Because even though a lot of the stuff that you talk about, are the same, but a lot of your shows, when you get a lot of participation, the way that you break down their question is like new information, because everybody has their own different scenario or situation going on.
Right.
And some of your older content, when people start asking questions, I'm like, man, this is right here. This is like gold. People don't realize this is gold. So I'd like to say, I just recommend everybody. I mean, again, it's hard for people to talk about their financial situation. More people need to be calling in, asking questions, talking about their specific scenario, and y'all need to be setting up some appointments, to talk to LJ, in the background, because like I said before, when I get down to where I'm just to my house, I'm gonna be making that call. I'm gonna be paying you what your time is worth, and I'm probably gonna be tipping you, because you have saved me so much money. From June to now.
I can hear it in your voice, man. I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in your voice. You sound like me when I first started realizing stuff. I was preaching it like the gospel. I was trying to tell all my friends. They just thought I was crazy and all this other. I'm like, damn, I can't get through to them. Yeah, I remember that feeling. I remember it.
I keep telling people, man, it's like that light, but every now and then, and it may only happen to you once or twice in your lifetime, but every now and then, you'll come across something or somebody, and that damn light bulb will come on, and you'll be like, dang, why has this light bulb been flickering for all these years, and now it decides it wants to come on? and when I'm telling you, when I heard you on O'Shea's channel, that when you did that collab with him, I'm telling you, man, that light bulb came on. It came on bright. It came on bright, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, I got to re-listen to this. And I listened to it again, and I was like, there was no lies in anything that you were saying. No lies. And
no lies.
Yeah, man.
And those are the people, and Sophia, I'm glad you said it that way. I'm out here, when I first started, I wanted to reach everybody. I said, I want to save everybody, right? But now I realize I'm here to ignite the people whose light is flickering, right? They know it's flickering, but they don't know why it's flickering. And then they come across me, and I just put that add that last piece of fire to make it burn hot. You know?
Yep. Yeah,
so
man.
I appreciate you, man.
Man, I'm doing. Look, I might go out today. I gotta go visit my mom. But like I say, I always keep them T-shirts ready. Because I be trying to start conversations, just a conversation that say, let's open it up, let's talk about it.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's crazy.
I refer them to the channel. It's probably a lot of people that I don't refer. They listen to the background. They ain't said nothing, but they listening.
How many when you refer the channel to them or a video, how many people actually get back to you?
I'd say probably in about the 10 or 15 people that I've actually sent, like talk to them about, and then sent them a couple of your videos. Probably only about 3. Only about 3. My daughter, my youngest daughter is listening. One of my coworkers is listening. A girl that used to work with me, she's listening. And and they're always hitting me back up, especially if I come across something that we've talked about, like something like like FHA or Chapter 7 or something like that. Then I'll send them that one of those specific videos, and they're always hitting me back. Hey, send me another one. I want to find out about this or something. Then I go in there and say, okay, I remember this one because you know, some of them archive ones, man. Like I say, I just recently listened to that one that you had with your brother, and y'all was talking about the cell phones. I send that one to a lot of people. I send that one to a lot of people.
I forget, when you showed me that one, I totally forgot about that video, man. I sent that to my brother. I was like, remember we made this?
Right.
We started cracking up just watching it, you know?
Yeah, and I sent a few the 2 that you made with your girlfriend. I've sent a couple people that I know that are in relationships. I've sent them those when you talk about money and relationships and stuff like that. And how the one that you did where how y'all met and you asked for the credit report.
Right.
So I send that to people. Now sometimes people don't get back to me and because I don't think they want to hear the truth.
Right.
Especially the one when you talked about a person being able to max out their 401k. I send that one to people. They don't want to hear that because they don't realize that they're in so much debt they can never do it.
Right. Yeah.
They can never
definitely cannot do that for sure.
Yeah. So I like I said, I can't stress more. If you on the fence about how to do it, you don't like, especially I think Averill earlier asked the question because she was a female and had 200 and some thousand. She needs to stay on this channel, but she needs to reach out to you,
right? So
that you could get her started on the path. Right now, she probably has no path, no idea of what she needs to do first,
right?
And those are the people who, because we always think we know how to do it
correct
on our own,
right?
But then you have to say to yourself, how's that been working out?
Exactly. How's that been working out? You don't even have a plan. Most people in debt don't even know freedom exists.
Exactly. Yeah. But I just wanted to hop onto that because, like I said, I think more people that listen need to be reaching out to you because, man, it's one of those things where you can't even explain it. Can't even explain. I can't explain. I know. I can't explain it because my thought process,
why? Because it's nothing physical.
Right.
You can't point at it and say it's there. It's that square green box. It's in that square green box. You can't say it. You can't point it nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't smell it. You can't touch it, but it's there because I'm living it.
Exactly. And that's what I do. The people I know, I say, look, I know, like you say, when you see something that somebody said, oh, I paid off this amount in this amount of time. I say, you don't know if they telling the truth, but I just tell them like, look, I'm your living witness. Look, you can't say you don't know nobody that's done this. I'm your living witness. So don't never come to me saying, I didn't know. Yes, I'm your living witness because all these people in my circle, we communicate on a regular basis.
But see, Stephen, you gotta realize when you talk like that, they're not hearing what you're saying. You know what they hear? Oh, Stephen think he's better than me.
Right. No, you know what they hear? They hear Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah.
Exactly. They don't hear you. Oh, Steve, who is Stephen? He think he's a millionaire. He trying to tell me what to do. He ain't even got $1 million in the bank and blah blah blah. That's all they hear. That's all they hear. I promise
You're
you.
right. You're right. You're right. I believe it. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on because I knew because again, like you say, people in debt, they have a pattern. And my friend, this has been his pattern. I'm gonna put this to you. In like the 14 years that we've known each other, I would guarantee you, LJ, that he's taken out at least 4 or 5 401k loans.
Borrowing from his future to pay for his present, and don't even know why he's borrowing from his future to pay for his present. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The only answer is because he doesn't have money in his present, and he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know it, and again he's telling me, man, I don't have no extra money to pay towards my credit card, but you're gonna go get a new iPhone and a 72-inch LG TV.
Yeah, because it was on sale, Stephen. Duh.
Well, he thought it was free money because the 401k loan to him is like free money.
No, you're missing the whole point, man. The TV was on sale. See, Stephen, you blind, man.
Yeah, no. I heard you. But he don't know. Look, he don't know. He not only finances the TV, he finances the taxes too.
Oh, he should. Yeah, she sure is. See, when you tell a slave that one, they won't even know. They don't even know they're financing taxes too. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Sometimes I be forgetting the stuff I be saying and realizing I forgot they finance taxes too. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boy,
yeah. So, but man, thank you for letting me come on this morning and tell my story, because a lot of people probably doing it. They don't realize it, but again, you can set them on the straight and narrow. They just need to go ahead and just quit playing around and just reach out to you.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you, Stephen, man. Thanks for jumping on, man.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
All right. You know, I forgot. Stephen reminded me of that today. I forgot. When you finance something, you're financing the taxes too. I forgot all about that. I really forgot about that. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Like, think about it this way. Say like somebody I'm gonna just keep it slow, round numbers, but we know it's more than this. So say like somebody finances a $20,000 car. It's $20,000 plus tax. But since they ain't got the money, they got to finance the taxes too, because why? They have no money to pay the taxes. So they're financing the taxes too. And then they take that big round, they finance that whole bunch, and then they stretch it across 84 months. So the bank is earning interest, not only on the car, they're earning interest on the taxes that they paid for, because the bank paid for the car and the bank paid for the taxes. So they're making money not only on the loan for the car, they're making money on the interest, and they're making interest on the taxes. Slaves, if you're in the background listening, I really hope you heard what I just said. If you're making car payments and you think you got a deal on your car, number one, the sale price on the car only applies to those who pay cash. If you finance the car and believe you got it on sale, you're a slave. Only slaves believe something that's not mathematically true. Nobody gets to finance anything on sale, especially a car. And if you didn't have the money for the very reason why you're making payments for the car is because you couldn't afford the car. And if you couldn't afford the car, you couldn't afford the taxes. So you had to finance the whole thing with interest. So they wrap it all up in a bundle, and then the bow on top of it is the interest that you're going to be paying. People out there thinking they're finessing the bank. No, you're not. No, you're not. Oh, I'm going to get this house. I'm going to flip it and blah, blah, blah. So you finance a house, you get a mortgage. That means you finance the taxes on the house too. The sale amount. What they do you guys so dirty? What they do you guys dirty, man? LJ, I get what you're saying about the TV being on sale. For who? No, I know what you meant. I was just messing with you. Nah, when I said you don't get it, that was literally joking. I know you get it. I was just being funny. He made it a point to keep telling me it was on sale. I got it on sale. I got it on sale. Would you pay cash for it? No, you financed it. You didn't get it on sale. I know you guys don't want to hear this, slaves. I know you guys don't want to hear this. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's a big red pill. It's very big and it's ginormous. No, you can't cut it up in pieces. You got to take the whole thing at once. Anything, like, forget if you're okay. If your total, God, how can I put this with you guys? Okay. Add up all your savings and then add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. If that's a large negative number, everything you buy is financed. So when you see the sale price of anything that you see with your eyes, that doesn't apply to you. That only applies to those of us that are not in debt. I guarantee you put it this way. Here's another thing. I guarantee you the majority of the people telling you about cryptocurrencies, I swear to you, listen, all you got to do is ask to see their personal credit report. It will tell you why they believe in cryptocurrency. They're in debt. That's why no currency at all. Listen closely. No currency at all exists for slaves. None. So nothing is on sale for you. Nothing. You understand what I'm telling you? If you take the time to understand, you will be an alpha for the rest of your life, male or female. You'll be an alpha for the rest of your life because you will know something that millions of slaves don't know. They don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. They don't even know. You could tell it to a slave right to their face. Hey, you know money doesn't exist for you and I can prove it. They still won't believe you. That's called cognitive dissonance. By doing this is why they get mad. This is the reason why they get emotional and get mad when you tell them they're not really a homeowner. You're asking them to unlearn everything they've been taught since birth. You're asking them to unlearn it. You're telling them, hey, everything in your financial life is mathematically incorrect. That's what you're telling them. They won't accept that. This will be to your advantage. This is how you will remove. This is what will make you so alpha in the financial, especially in the financial world. You will have the advantage of the reason why you will have the advantage because you'll know something that they don't even know exists. They don't even know they don't trust math. This is their pattern. Nothing will stop you. Nothing. You'll be able to do anything you want. As long as you understand that money doesn't exist for them, you'll be able to do anything you want. You'll never pay full price for anything. Your whole world's going to change forever. Your confidence is going to go through the roof. Nobody will be able to stop you because you do you hear my voice? You hearing me? I don't listen to slaves. I don't listen to the opinions of slaves. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they have. I don't care what kind of car they drive. I don't care where they live, what kind of house. I don't care how big their house is. They're slaves. You don't even see them. Once you remove them from the whole financial equation, and then you'll see the real playing board. You will see it in stocks. You'll see it in investing. You'll see it with anything that has to do with money. You'll see the true playing board. You will understand, like, what is it? 85, 90% of people are in debt. And then you take those people. How many of those people are investing in the stock market that with money that doesn't exist? It's got to be over 50%. It has to be. So if they don't even know they're investing with money they don't even have, what's left? The real playing board. So when you go to different, like when you go to different financial channels, and they're talking about investing. Okay. And they're telling you these numbers and all this other stuff. Unless you can see their personal credit report, you have no idea if they even know what they're talking about. Because if the business of them is not at zero, everything that they're telling you is mathematically incorrect. If they believe they're making profit on, like, here, let me give you an example. Okay. So this is the best way I can tell you something so you can understand. As a person in debt, I want you to understand this. Okay. So you guys, if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense. So a lot of slaves always tell you this: hey man, I got a mortgage, and then I took out I took out a second, bought a property, bought a rental property. Now now the rent is, my mortgage is, I'm gonna just leave it simple numbers. My mortgage is 1,000, but I'm charging the renter 2,000, so I'm making $1,000 profit. This is what they tell you. Okay. And as to a person in debt, you will really believe that they're making $1,000 profit. Okay, so let me explain to you how it works. So every time you hear that, you ask them, how much is your mortgage payment? You go, their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance equals their profit. And if you can say this to them too, because the math is correct. Take the mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance equals their profit. Now this math is right. This math is not incorrect. So why does the person that just told you, why do they think they're making $1,000 profit? Because they have a renter in it. Because they're a slave. They don't trust mathematics. It doesn't matter what they believe. They just told you they're a slave. If anybody ever tells you that, they're telling you they're a slave, because that doesn't make mathematical sense. So when you hear people say, I took out a second mortgage, they have the reason why they had to get a first mortgage is because they didn't have the money to buy the house. And now here's a person trying to give you financial advice that has two mortgages. They take out a second, two mortgages on one house. They get a second mortgage, totally forgetting why they needed the first. And then they take some of that money and then go get a third mortgage. And then they think they're making $1,000 profit. No, they're not. They're not making anything. That's why you got to be very careful what you hear on financial channel. You got to be very careful. Because unless you know their personal finances, you have no idea what they're telling you. Don't go by their subscribers. Don't go by how many views they have. That means absolutely nothing. All you got to do is listen. Listen to what they say. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it's not true. I'm a sinner or slave. If I use business credit and personal credit to flip cars to slaves and rent slaves cars, been doing it for years, like taking candy from a baby. See what I'm saying? And they don't even know. When you know this knowledge, long as you're doing it legally, you can kill the game. You can kill it. Whatever you decide to go against, do in business, you will kill it. You will have the advantage over your competition. Because they could be in the exact same business as you, but if they're doing business in a debt perspective, and debt-free perspective, they're losing. It's business, it's nothing personal, so you're just making money. All right, you guys, we're gonna wrap this up here. Thank you everybody for joining. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Stephen, for jumping on and doing that for me. I appreciate that. Sharing your feelings about your experiences. I mean, I hope people listening to you, they could hear the excitement in your voice, because that's how I live every day. It's just unbelievable. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. You guys catch the live stream later. Please don't forget to comment if you have any questions. If you want to sign up for a consultation, there's my website. You can go there and do it yourself. Cash App donation. There's my Cash App down at the bottom. Oh, by the way, thank you everybody that Cash Apps me out the blue. Even when I'm not on the live, even I'll get a Cash App out the blue from somebody watching my videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that too. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful SMD life out there today. Enjoy that. I hope it's beautiful wherever you live. I know it is where I'm at. It's sunny, 70. Let me check the temperature right now. It is, what is it? Sunny and 70. Sunny and 72. That's why I moved here. All right. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right. Bye-bye.